Hey guys, for this workout, you're going to need a chair or a box, weight that you can do single leg work with, and a weight that you can jump with, as well as a lying down mat. Okay, so our first set is going to have 4 movements. That first movement is going to be a dumbbell overhead box squat. Therefore, that's where you need your box and your light dumbbell. Your second movement is going to be a seated jump from the box, holding your med ball or any weight, or you can have a weighted vest or any type of weight, or if you want to do it non-weighted, that's fine as well. Your third movement is going to be a forward lunge to a reverse lunge, just focusing on controlling your center of gravity and then time under tension for that glute. And then your last movement being an alternating split squat jump, again controlling your center of gravity and being explosive in your jumps. Okay, so getting that heart rate up as well. So that's our first set of 4. And then the second set is going to be all about that core and trunk stabilization. Okay, so first movement, dumbbell overhead box squat. Make sure that you have a sturdy box or a sturdy chair. I have a box and a chair. You're going to pick up a dumbbell or weight of choice with your left hand and safely come up to your box or chair. Okay? With that left hand, you're going to curl it up to your shoulder. So now we're in that front rack position. Okay? Still with our feet directly underneath our hips. In front of our box, our calves should be touching our box or our chair. Okay? All we're going to do is we are going to now press that weight overhead, parallel to that shoulder, palms facing your ear. Okay? And we're going to sit down and tap the box, slowly lowering that center of gravity, tapping the box with our glute or hamstring, whichever touches first, keeping that chest up, back strong, keeping that core tight, and then drive force into the ground as we extend our hips back up to the ground. Okay? We have 10 each side, lowering that center of gravity, tapping the box, and driving up. Your depth and your strength in your core is going to determine how high of a box or low of a box that you can do. As you progress and get stronger, you're going to get lower and lower on your box. And if you see that you have a box that's too low and your heels come off the ground, try using a heel lift or a box with a bar on it so you can elevate your heels, and that will give you that greater range of motion in your shin angles, so that way you can get a little bit deeper in your squats. If you have great shin angles, then you don't need a heel lift. It's just something to think about. Text me if you need me to observe your squat, so I can check your shin angles and make sure that your heels are not coming off the ground when you squat to the box. If you cannot hold that dumbbell overhead, a front rack position is absolutely fine. Just, again, curl that dumbbell to your shoulder, and that's just where you're going to hold it. Instead of pressing it overhead and squatting, you're just going to keep that front rack position and squat. And if you're not ready to do single arm anything, just hold that kettlebell, dumbbell, weight of choice. Could be a jug of water, okay? But as long as you keep that chest up, back strong. Inhale at the top, tap your glutes to the box, and then exhale when you come back up, like you're imagining like you're going underwater, okay? Just to keep that core nice and tight. Tap that box, drive it up. All right. Second movement, we're not going to move our feet at all. Okay, we're right in front of that box or chair. You can take that same dumbbell that you used for your overhead box squats, or you can grab a med ball. You can grab a pillow, whatever you want. You're just going to hold that ball to your chest, or your kettlebell, or your dumbbell, or weight of choice to your chest, and we're simply going to sit it onto the box. Okay, so now we're sitting onto the box. Okay, keeping our chest up, back strong. You're going to pick up your feet and try to stomp into the ground. Okay, So when we stomp into the ground, Newton's law of gravity takes effect. Okay, we're trying to produce force into the ground so that way we come off the box and jump into the air and then sit back down on the box. So grabbing our dumbbell, chest up, back strong. We're picking up our feet off the ground, kind of leaning into the chair, and then slamming it into the ground and jumping off the box. 1, 2, hip extension. 1 is our force, 2 is our hip extension. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, producing force into the ground and then extending our hips as fast as possible. Okay, so that is our second movement. We have our overhead box squats, and then we have our box jumps off the box. Okay, we're gonna go 10 each side on our box jumps, and then we are going to, let's go 15, just because I feel like we need to work on endurance a little bit more. So we will go 10, 10, 15. I think that is splendid. 10, 10, 15. Our next movement, we are going to do our reverse lunge to forward lunge. You can do this with weight, you can do it without weight. It's completely up to you and how your legs feel at this moment. But standing neutral with our feet directly underneath our hips, strong back, chest up. You put your hands on your hips. For the first part, we're just simply taking a step forward, making sure our nose, knee, and toe are in alignment, and then load, push back into that backwards lunge. Again, making sure that our forward leg, whatever it may be nose, knee, and toe, stepping forward, stepping backwards, stepping forward, stepping backwards. Okay? Our main point is to, when you step forward, we load that forward leg, nose, knee, and toe in alignment, so that way we can push back into that back step, okay? So on the field, we're always changing direction, so we're basically trying to get enough strength to change direction fast and effectively. And then we go to the other leg, load, and then push back. So always having your center of gravity with your soft knees. When we take that forward step, loading our nose, knee, and toe, and then pushing backwards into that backwards lunge. Your nose, knee, and toe in alignment is always going to be on your forward leg, okay? So whenever, if I am stepping forward with my right leg, nose, knee, and toe is in center. It's all in alignment, and then I push backwards. So now my right leg is behind me. However, my center of gravity still remains on my forward leg, which is now my left leg. So my nose, knee, and toe is in alignment with my left leg. Does that make sense? Always trying to control my center of gravity, loading that forward leg, whatever that may be, okay? If we keep our center of gravity low, then our time under tension on that left leg is going to be grand, and we'll feel that burn in that quad of that left leg. If the right leg is the one that's stepping forward and backwards, and then vice versa. If my right leg is stationary, my left leg moves forward, then pushes backward. If I keep my center of gravity low, that time under tension builds that quad. As we get more comfortable with the movement, we can hold a single weight. So here, I would just step with my right, and I would hold a weight with my left, and then vice versa. If I step with my left, I can hold a weight in my right. As I get stronger, I can add 2 weights, load, load, or I can also take a med ball and hold it overhead or parallel to my nose, taking that forward step, backward step, forward step, backward step. You can load and progress these movements with the amount of weight or the amount of distance away from the body you hold that weight. But our main focus is just controlling that center of gravity, slight bend in your knee, dropping into that nose, knee, and toe in alignment, forward step, pushing back, and still controlling our center of gravity, making sure that our ankle bones and our arches stay high. We're not rolling that knee into that big toe. We're trying to keep your knee pointing to that big toe and staying in control of our big toe and our arch with every step that we take, no matter what. Okay, controlling that arch. And our last movement, go ahead and start at that same neutral position, taking our forward step, loading nose, knee, and toe in alignment, and all we're gonna do is bring our left leg to our right foot position and our right foot to our left foot position, okay? So it's just switching. Imagine you have a line in the sand. One foot is in front of the line, one foot is behind the line. We're still maintaining our control, nose, knee, and toe in alignment of that first leg. So our nose, knee, and toe is gonna be in front of the line, never behind the line, okay? Opposite arm, opposite leg. So I have my left foot in front of the line, my right hand in front of the line, my right foot behind the line, my left hand behind the line. I'm gonna load my hip and then alternate, alternate, alternate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we're gonna go 10 each side. And then the next round you can go 15 each side, and then the next round you can go 20 each side. It just depends on how well your conditioning is and then how your legs feel at this point. Because we did do our squats, our jumps, our lunges, and then now we're adding that plyometric to our same exact stance on our lunge. Okay. So that completes our first section. Our second segment is just core. This stuff is easy peasy, lemon squeezy. We grab our mat, drop it down to the floor, and go ahead and drop it all the way down to the ground. We're laying flat on our backs. Oh, flat on our backs. Drop the camera. So from laying down flat on our backs, okay. Oh, I don't know about you guys, but it kills me to lay flat on my back just because. All right, so now we're gonna go bring our head and our shoulders off the ground, okay? Head and shoulders off the ground. So that makes your rib cage point to your pelvic bone, okay? I like to put my hands behind my head whenever I bring my head and my shoulders off the ground. Bring your feet off the ground and bring your knees parallel to your hips. So now you kind of look like a dead bug. Make sure that your heels are parallel to your knees are parallel to your hips, so you're making a 90-degree angle. And from here, all we're gonna do is bring our left hand underneath our left ankle, but parallel to the ground, okay? So our hand should be right behind our booty cheek, like we're waving away a fart. And then we're gonna bring our right hand to our right ankle, parallel to the ground. All right, so almost like you're trying to reach for the water that's behind your hips. Reach, 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 and you're gonna alternate left, right, right. So it's kind of like a lateral crunch, but you're in that dead bug position, so that way everything is engaged. And you have 20 each side. These are called penguins because you're going side to side like a penguin, and you got your little flippers parallel to the ground. So after we hit our 20 each side penguins, we have some mini crunches, still keeping that 90-degree angle in our legs. So once you catch your breath and get your rest, we're bringing our knees parallel to our hips and then our ankles parallel to our knees, bringing our rib cage to our pelvic bone and then back down. Rib cage to our pelvic bone, back down, okay? Every time we bring our rib cage, we're bringing our head and shoulders off the ground into that crunch. Head and shoulders back down,
head and shoulders up, head and shoulders down. Mini crunches in our dead bug position. All right, we got 20 total crunches. And then once we finish with our 20 total crunches, we have our bicycles. So we're gonna go ahead and sit, keep our legs bent. Our feet are on the ground, our knees are bent. You're gonna give yourself, your hammies and quads a hug. Okay, so go ahead and make your body like a V. You're hugging your hammies and your quads, more like your hammies. Hugging your legs, and your body shape is like a letter V. Okay, from here, we're gonna release that hug and bring our bring your knee, left knee, to your right hand, and then bring and extend that right leg. Oh my goodness. Trying to do it and talk at the same time is insane. All right, so every time you tap your leg to your hand to your knee, the other leg is going to extend fully. So think about locking out your quad anytime your knee is not bent. Okay, so if I bring my right hand to my left knee, my right leg will be extended parallel to the ground and turning that quad on, so like really squeezing our quad tight, tight, tight. All right, so it's tap, tap, tap. All right, so left leg to right hand, left hand to right leg, left leg is extended, and we're gonna alternate. So it's just like riding a bicycle in the sky. Okay, so left to right, right to left, left to right, right to left. When I bring my hand back, so right now my left leg is completely extended, my toe is facing the sky, dorsiflexed, because my quad is super, super tight. I always make sure that the opposite hand, which is my right hand, stays at a 90-degree angle. So when I drive my elbow behind my body, my hand goes to my pocket. Almost like a sprint with your hands. So as my left arm is tapping the knee of my right leg, my right hand is to my pocket and driving that elbow behind my body. It's just a good habit to get into that opposition, that opposite arm, opposite leg. Get in that habit of opposition, because that's what we do when we sprint. We work on opposition. And then last but not least, we have our leg extensions. So back down to the ground, and we simply extend our hips, bring it back together. Extend our hips, bring it back together. Okay, so from that dead bug position we love so much, just make sure that your head and shoulders are off the ground, so we keep that rib cage pointing to our pelvic bone. Load it up, extend, recover, extend, recover. And we got 20 there as well. As always, if you have any questions, please reach out to me. I love questions, and that helps me help you, okay? So make sure to shoot me a text or message me.